moderation office hours, and as you're about to see, we will field them in the next moderation office hours. Is a Nuki here? Do we have a Nuki? Loitering somewhere out there. Nuki, are you alive? Do you exist?
Nuki,
Possibly
if you're
not.
in the chat, give us a
Hello, everyone else coming in.
Hello.
Of course, if you don't happen to exist when we answer your question, the follow-up I'm going to do is give a response in that thread saying, hey, you were answered on this date, go check it out. That gives you a nice link to know when your question was answered, and of course, when you can get a video response to it. Now, getting back to the question itself, there are two questions posed by Nuki. One, what are the rules about classical nude art in public worlds? They elaborate a little bit further, saying, I'm making Greco-Roman water-themed space, and I'm looking at these models of Roman statues of naked people pouring it out of pots, and I'm wondering what the rules might be for using them. And then a follow-up question of, would the answer be different if they were statues of naked furries? I'm sorry, the Resonite app started talking to us. I was distracted by that at the very end of those two questions. Hello, mystery person. How are you doing? You said bois, which gives me hints, I dare say. But I suppose they're not confirmed. As it relates to that question, though, it's sort of a well, yes, but no answer. The guidelines, sorry, the Resonite app is still talking in the background. Hello, definitely not Frugs. The guidelines as they're currently written for public worlds inside of Resonite don't make any current exceptions in regards to educational or artistic uses of things that might otherwise be prohibited. Which could go for, say things relating to adult content, if it's, say, just artistic nudity, or even education, if it might relate to things that could be covered under intolerance. Say we think about museum pieces of things that would otherwise be prohibited under the intolerance guidelines. We don't have formal exceptions for those right now, though that is on the radar. It's something we certainly want to at least think about, how we would deal with that sort of stuff in the future. So the immediate answer I can give you is no, you can't have depictions of nudity in your worlds, in public worlds right now. We would treat that as adult content, and no, it wouldn't vary based on whether they're naked furries or naked humans. Just depictions of nudity would be what would be shuffling under adult content there. Though, I do want to give you the one exception we sort of have right now, which is the yes half of that answer. If you were collaborating with an art gallery or a museum and you wanted a VR experience, I would strongly encourage you to reach out to the business email, where we can certainly talk to you about licensing around that. Well, Resonite's always been very interested in collaborating with universities, art galleries, museums, that sort of stuff. We'd be very interested in hearing from you if you were putting on a show.
Definitely. What if it was censored with a leaf? Then if there's no depiction of any sort of genitalia underneath it, then yeah, sure, a leaf is fine.
If it's not adult content, it's not adult content. That's the easiest way. As the Resonite app, still the mystery Resonite app, says, if your naked furry statue gets into an IRL art museum, then maybe. But yes, I will give a little spiel to Nuki to let them know that they've got a response there if they would like to put eyes on perhaps the VOD at a later date.
Also, Lexivo has a question here. Since you two seem to be the ones that set up the external platforms, at least Discord and Reddit, do you have a backup plan for if Discord stops aligning with the team's values and or shuts down? Not immediately. I don't know if there's like any... Recently. I was going to say, is there something we should know about? But if things like that do start to like disalign terribly with our values and whatnot, we'll probably be looking at alternatives, but hopefully we don't have to get there.
Now, Cobalt South has another question saying, is there any way to differentiate between who has a certain mentor roles like mentor lead, trainer, trainee in Resonite itself? Well, the first and the easiest way is to walk up to the person and say, hi, are you a mentor or a mentor lead? Are you a trainer or a trainee? They will use some means of either their face or hands or a keyboard to communicate back to you. I'm being an asshole. There's no formal differential inside of Resonite, but of course all the mentors tend to be pretty friendly people, and yeah, you can just wander up and talk to them and they'd be happy to elaborate, I imagine. Sort of the default, I would say, to become a mentor is that you want to help out other folks, and so they're pretty good about answering those sorts of questions on the fly.
We do have a follow-up question. By the way, just a reminder, if you want to make it a little bit easier for us, make sure you put a question mark in your questions. That way it'll pop it over to the pinned messages section for us. But Daniel says here, to add to that, would you all be open to using the matrix systems? Not sure what you mean. If there's something like that's considered like a social program that's called a matrix, something or other, but elaborate and let us know what that is.
I feel this neither relates to Matrix Math nor the movie series, though.
Hopefully
it
not.
does. That's very impressive. Matrix is a chat protocol, perhaps. We do have that, again, completely anonymous dev saying we'll make our own in the Resonite app. I don't know if that'd be our first solution to Discord falling over, but I am aware, and we, oddly enough, do have some familiarity with replacements for Discord that exist out there, sort of open source alternatives. I believe Revolt was the name of one of them. I don't want to paint any concrete plans here. Vera is correct. If there was a system we were using whose values suddenly and sharply deviated from our own, we would want to move away from that. We do care a great deal about the values of the companies we work with, and that's certainly been pertinent in current and past business decisions. Where we would go, who knows? We would evaluate it depending on what went down.
Yeah. Jack the Fox Otter says, bois. Bois.
Bois indeed. Very accurate, very accurate. Could we make Discord in Resonite?
That'd be pretty cool, honestly. I want to be able to have a sticker system in the in like the contacts chat. I feel like that'd be cool. Make it look a little bit like I don't know, like Signal or Telegram or something. Be pretty cool.
Do you have any stickers in Resonite? Because you could just stick them to the person and
that'd be such a cool feature. You'd be able to pull it out of the chat and then stick it on people's foreheads.
Yeah. Be good.
Particle messages.
Oh, no. Admittedly, I do love the idea of opening up your contacts and having a message explode, but probably not the best idea. The convenience to mischief ratio there.
Jack has a good question here. How excited are you for spatial variables? I'm very excited. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I feel like there's a lot you can do with that, and I'm excited to see how people are going to implement it.
Mm-hmm. Stickers that are literally sticky. Correct.
Also, Jellyfin. Grand UK asks, anyone know how Jellyfin works? I have no idea. Oh, you put a question mark in, like... Yeah, I didn't realize you were probably trying to dodge us, like, getting our attention pulled away there. But I have no idea what it is.
Little did you know we're capable of being distracted by anything. Didn't Frooks already build Discord into Resonite? I stumbled across it at some point. I don't believe so. We have Discord integration for certain things, you'll get badges. But I don't... I think that's more a Patreon integration that incidentally also integrates with Discord, rather than anything else that formally showed up. Oh, and Lexivo does, of course, highlight the thing that we figured instigated this. There has been news. A new CEO from Activision/Blizzard has wandered into taking the reins for Discord. Doom and gloom appeared in various internet articles. I will offer no comment. Discord doesn't allow you to make third-party clients, says our mystery dev. That's unfortunate.
Well, that's weird, yeah. Cobalt
Alex says,
here.
howdy. Oh, finally the chat loaded. Welcome.
Woo.
Hope you're having a good one.
Welcome. Cobalt Scythe asks, if someone is ever banned on the platform and their Discord name is known, will they be banned from the Resonite Discord too? So it depends. If it's a really short ban from the platform, very likely not. If it's a permanent ban from the platform, we are likely going to remove you from the Discord as well.
Yeah. Remember, the vast majority of Resonite bans, and I really need to stress this point, the vast majority of them do expire. The expectation is that people are capable of always submitting an appeal, and sometimes they get overturned. But even if they don't get overturned, the vast majority of bans that go out will expire at some point. And if you see someone has done something bad, and you submitted a moderation ticket, and then you see them 2-3 weeks later doing the bad thing again, don't presume they never received any response to your original ticket. For starters, if we respond, which we will do to tickets, saying, hey, thank you for the ticket, moderator action has been taken based on it, we did something. At the very least, we were sending warnings, and it's quite likely account restrictions might be associated with something. Certainly the more severe cases. If you got that message, even if you see them back, please don't assume nothing occurred. It's just those bans do expire. And if the behavior is continuing, we strongly encourage you at that point to reach back out with another ticket. Say, hey, this guy is still doing this thing, attach the relevant evidence, and we escalate our response. That is the sort of thing that will lead to a permanent restriction if a person's just disregarding moderation, getting out, clarifying the guidelines, and giving them some restrictions. I know that wasn't really the question, but it's a little stump I like to stand on and yammer about from time to time. It's relevant.
Jack says, I've been playing a lot of Vintage Story lately. It once again makes me excited about the future terrain system. Vintage Story, is that the VR one where you can you have, how can I put it? You come upon a town and you can fix it up, and then you can utilize the forge and stuff like that. It's all a VR game, right? Is that the one I'm thinking of, or is that something else?
Maybe. Grand UK comes in and asks, if someone created an alt to bypass a Discord ban that was put in place by a permanent platform ban, would that still be ban evading, even if it was just a ban to match a Resonite platform ban? And what about false positives or people claiming people are doing this when they have nothing to do with the banned user? We need some sort of confirmation. I'll answer this backwards. We need some sort of confirmation to follow up with treating something as ban evasion, something that definitively links the two accounts together. So false positives, we try to be very, very hesitant. We're very, very cautious to prevent false positives. We might occasionally get a false negative because of that, but our goal is to avoid false positives, viewing those as the worst of the two evils there. As for the first part of the question, would they? Yes. If we've implemented some sort of ban and you get around it on any of our controlled areas, for want of a better term, whether we're talking about Discord, on platform, theoretically even over on Reddit, we would treat that as ban evasion. And depending on how severe it was and what produced the initial ban, we'd get some kind of escalation out of that. Remember, a lot of these are, if someone was permanently banned for harassing another user, it would be probably a pretty significant case that perpetrated over an elongated period of time where we tried to step in and failed. If a person tries to step around that on the Discord, we're already at a very high level of account restrictions that have been applied, if not outright permanent account restrictions. So we're certainly going to follow through with that alt account to not provide another vector for harassment. Oh, and one side thing, Nuki, you're late. I'm offended. Personally. And now I will never answer your question because you're late. And also because I answered it earlier, if you would like to click on this VOD and view it, you will find a Canadian Good answer right in the first few minutes of the stream.
It was the first thing we answered too, right?
Yes. People are talking about furry mods to get their furry characters into Resonite. Yes, quite. Someday we'll have those present in this platform, I am sure.
Maybe. I'm not sure yet. What's a furry? Oh wait, Draconis here has a question. Without giving any revealing details, how many permanent bans have been given out since release? So I just want to say probably a small amount. I think we've made it pretty clear we don't do that all that often. It's really kind of rare.
Mm-hmm. The tools are available, but as we often like to say, that we have that very nice small town feel. We've got one of the better communities out there on the internet. That means while we have work on a week-to-week basis, we're not overwhelmed. Folks have been pretty excellent to each other here.
Definitely.
Why are people talking about sponges and brains?
Years.
Did we miss something very confusing?
What's a type of sponge? I am confused.
Okay. Nuki, if you're out there listening to us, did you get the previous message about the message? If not, I will attempt to respond to you on Discord with bumbly VR typing, but it'll be bad and embarrassing. I guess I could try to remember after, but, memory.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and ask the chat a question here. What types of self-moderation tools would you guys find useful or interesting to see on the Resonite platform? And don't say a gun. Or a hammer. Of course. First response is literal ban hammer. Great.
I'm back. No violence. It's actually not the reason. We try to make sure when people have received some sort of restriction or change in their status courtesy of self-moderation on platform, it is as clear to the user that had the thing done to them as possible so they don't think it was a glitch or a bug or something else that went awry. After all, if you kick someone and they just go, oh, my session crashed, I'll just rejoin, you then have to re-kick them.
That can be a little bit confusing for some people at times. Jack says, a button that sends the moderated user into the serious room for 10 minutes. Oh, my goodness.
Timeout button.
Wow.
This has actually been discussed broadly before, but right now we do, of course, have some limited ability to use that. You can ban someone, and then just rescind the ban 10 minutes later, but there will be no formal UI thing displaying that they have been banned only for 10 minutes. It's certainly something that's at least on the radar, though, if we're looking for another pass at self-moderation tools. Again, we have a pretty good community, so I don't want to say that moderation priorities are at the very bottom of the list, but it is certainly, there's a lot of things for the devs to work on, and mod stuff comes up when we get a break between all those other things.
Draconis says... Oh, sorry. Go on.
As Not Fruix says, it makes it kind of awkward when people report bugs with the session and we'll find, oh, the person just doesn't like you and keeps kicking you. It's not a bug. Yeah, that's a thing. We try to avoid these sorts of situations.
Awkward. Draconis says, poorly constructed jail cell. Oh, Gmod style, poorly constructed jail cell. Only serious answers here, huh?
We do try, generally speaking, to discourage people from crafting their own moderation session tools. Generally, that's in regards to making a gun that'll, crash someone out of a session, because just as Not Fruix says here, that could produce weird bug reports, and it's a problem. We'll treat that as potentially harassment. We strongly, as moderation, encourage you to make use of the session moderation tools. No hacky alternative you've made. If you have a gun that teleports someone to a jail cell, I have to formally say, no, you should not use that, because people view that as a form of harassment if they didn't understand it. Though if you're using it comedically, I have no problems with it whatsoever. Among friends, that would be fine. I actually have a question. Cobalt Scythe says, if you ban a user from your hosted sessions, is that permanent? If so, is there a way to undo that action in the future if you want to allow them back? I mean, yes. And yes.
I think it's already implemented. It's in the contacts in the contacts list. You can just simply unban them from your sessions, I believe. Let's see. Lexivo
You're about
says...
to test this by banning me.
Oh, maybe not right now. Maybe later. Lexivo says reputation system where it's low enough, it will show publicly you're a nuisance. So I have opinions on that.
Yeah.
I feel like if you put a sticker or an icon like that over. I'm still on stickers for some reason. If you put a little icon over someone's head that says that they're that they're recognized as a nuisance, that's the moderation team putting a bully target on someone's head, and I am firmly against that. Like 1,000,000%. That's why moderation doesn't talk to anyone regarding other people's bans.
Exactly.
We don't want to do that. We never want moderation to become a vector for bullying, ever.
Yes. Draconis follows up with a serious thing. Is you've been kicked from the session a thing? If not, could one be added? Yeah, I think a lot of additional information about what's happened to you from session moderation tools is on the list of things we would love to have alongside things like in-game reporting. Certainly it's part of what we would like to look at if we get time to have an expanded moderation suite of abilities for users and perhaps even stuff for mods on platform. Again, though, it's just a matter of development priority. If everything else is squared away, I'm sure there will be a moderation week where a number of things could come through. It's just not something we can give you an ETA right now. Again, we have a small community and a good community that typically that's great from a moderation perspective, but also works against us. We're not throwing rocks at the devs asking desperately for additional tools because everything's on fire and we need to put out said fires. If we had, say, a massive surge in users, well, the devs would probably be focusing on keeping the servers from falling over. But once the servers were duct taped back to semi-rigidity, we might get some additional improvements in moderation prioritized just due to that large community change. But again, no promises on when.
Yeah, I think it would generally be like a bit more helpful if we could be a little bit more clear via the client itself when someone is kicked from a session. Just can avoid some of that awkwardness later on.
It does produce an interesting conversation. If I recall, when blocking was first being considered for the first pass, there was conversation around putting in messages about why the block went in place and if the other person should be able to see it, or will that just be a vector for harassment as well? After all, a block and then a very incendiary message sent as part of the blocker could potentially mean that that block went out, and then in the message with it, they effectively harassed the user they were blocking. There's a lot of details when it comes to thinking about how new moderation tools can come down the line that we want to keep in mind to make sure they can't be misused. As Veer said before, when it comes to an overriding philosophy for all of the tools we put in people's hands is not creating a vector for harassment inside of our own community. We want to make things better.
Yeah.
Jack says the server should be fine. Resonite is pretty scalable. I know. We have seen dramatic days when we had huge spikes up to like 1,000+ concurrent users at times in the past, and the servers did not implode. But there were the devs were keenly aware of what was happening, we shall say.
Yeah.
Some attention needed to be applied.
A couple adjustments made. The mentors might implode, though. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of them. So hopefully they wouldn't. But you know what? Then again, if we get like a huge wave of people, I'm assuming after about a month or two, we're probably going to get a lot of new mentor recruits, too. That'd be pretty cool.
This is true. The mentors sort of self-scale.
Yeah. What do you mean, Schmentor Draconis?
Mentor, schmentor.
By the way, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but today we're in a different world. This one is actually made by Rue. He's a member of our team, and it's called Water Park. And the cool thing about it is that this little river behind us, it's a lazy river. I could just sit in it and float down it all day, and it's in a continuous circuit. In fact, which way is the water going? Oh, yeah. Bye, guys. We're going to go ahead and just do the rest of the stream this way. I hope you guys can still hear us as we slowly get more and more quiet into the distance.
Lazy River office hours would be wonderful. Yes.
Oh, there is a pinned button. Are we gonna do it? We can totally have the camera follow us.
I'm willing to engage with this, but we are likely to be... You have to pin it. You will be the anchor.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Here, let me put the thing back a little bit. I'm gonna put the camera up a bit. There we go. So we're not... I might be. Let's see. There we go. If only I could pin the camera directly to me. Oh well, this will be fine. Let's give it a shot.
Good lord.
Yeah, this is kind of working. I gotta make the... There we go. That's a little bit smaller now.
I feel this is not working at all, but also it's very amusing.
It kind of is.
Just gonna...
Let's see if I set
Lightly
the
put
camera
that
to
over
group
there.
mode.
It's fine. Wave to the skull.
Bye head. Lazy River office hours, indeed. Oh, that's fun. Thanks for letting me know about that, Jack.
Need to find a chair somewhere in this place so I can actually be on level with you. There we are. Now.
Alex asks, what's the name of the world? I believe it's just Water Park. We've lost the camera. There it is. Why is it over there now? All right, well, this is going to comically, suck, but this is going to be fun anyway.
I'm not certain why I'm slowly walking on the bottom of the lazy river, but it's happening. We'll just make our peace with it.
Yeah. Honestly, doesn't everyone crab walk in a lazy river if your feet can hit the ground?
To be fair, yes, this does happen on occasion. So, folks, sorry we missed you last week. We do occasionally take breaks like that. Easter came along. I hope everyone in the audience had an excellent Easter. Lots of ham, lots of turkey.
Let's see, there we go. Now I'm at the right height. And also, we're going to be going at slightly different speeds, which is kind of funny. Oh, Jack, you ate a lot, now you're on a diet. I mean, same.
Look, we're allowed to make that mistake. It's Easter. That is practically the point of Easter.
True enough. Oh, there goes the camera. Into the weeds.
No. Well, this happens sometimes. Now, we have, admittedly, floated past, dare I say, 4:30, and we're at the part of the day where, if the questions quiet down, we might sail off into the distance. If you have questions, I strongly encourage you to keep writing those questions, but we're going to roll through sort of the end-of-day shenanigans. I think I saw earlier Nuki talking about standing up a stream, but I'd like to extend the invitation to everyone. We have, let's check, 28 eyeballs on us. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. When we wrap up here, though, we're going to be rating a Resonite stream, and our goal is to look for a stream that has the least amount of viewers. I guess fewest amount of viewers. We don't want Stannis to hate us. Because our goal is to promote small-time streams that exist inside of the community. If you are looking to be a new streamer, I'd encourage you to start streaming now. We have about one condition, two conditions, I guess. One, we're generally looking for English-speaking audiences because we have an English-speaking audience, and it would be very confusing to our English listening audience if we sent them to someone who doesn't speak English. And two, we're looking for a sort of guideline compliant world. No adult content, no adult themes. We just generally want it to be family friendly is what we're going to aim for. If you couldn't show up at Crater Jam with it, we will probably opt for Crater Jam instead of it.
Yeah. Also, I've got a question here from Jack. I haven't been here from the beginning, so sorry if I missed that, but did Veer have any updates on the mentor thing Veer teased 3 office hours ago? You know, I don't think it was anything major that I was teasing, but one thing that we did kind of have in the works that's going to be going out somewhat soon is going to be another mentor questionnaire. We're going to be asking the mentors a few questions based on their experience within the mentor program itself and how well it's prepared them for answering new user questions and whatnot to see what we can improve on. Beyond that, though, there's not any major updates. It's really funny because, Jack, when you first started asking that, I totally forgot what you were talking about and what I was talking about. But we'd recently picked up speed on that mentor questionnaire. That must be what I was teasing. But yeah, if you're in the mentor program, just keep an eye out. We're going to have kind of a survey out soon. Speed back up, catch up with Get here. There we go.
I'm slowly adjusting. Wave to the skull again. It's just
Bye,
out there
skull.
having fun. Look, I like the little shardy, broken up skull, but also if you're gently floating in one direction nonstop, it does go directly into my eyeballs. So, it has to take a break. I'm aware I could make it so it wouldn't be visible but to my eyeballs, but where's the fun in that?
True enough. Oh, come back here. There we go.
You have been defeated by a floaty.
I have. Let's see. There we go. That kind of works. Slowing down a lot, though.
There's not even ground beneath me to be walking on. I'm just confused.
So if you actually look down there, you can, with your laser, you'll see that there's something grabbable. You can actually adjust your height in the water if you'd like. Draconis says, I am a floaty. I have seen your avatar. Yeah, I think you would just kind of float directly on top of the lazy river here, but I feel like this is a great world for you.
This just means I'm walking on the water. It's even more confusing. Here, I will just creep along. Why have I gotten slower?
I don't know, actually.
Hello, everyone. I'm confused.
That's how I should start the next stream, honestly. Hello, everyone. I'm confused.
Well, I've accidentally put the bottom of the water beneath the bottom of the land, and am now trapped like this. Goodbye, everyone. I don't know why I'm faster when it's lower down. I'm just going off into the distance, gently submerged, as one does.
Draconis asks, is Git secretly Jesus? Why do you think he was talking about Easter?
That's the case.
All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and start looking at Twitch here. During that time, I'm not going to have a whole lot of control, I have a whole lot of control over the camera right now, but it's not but the second. It's funny.
Float back in. I'm going to give people a spiel while Veer here sets up our raid. Again, if you were looking to be raided, now is the time to turn your stream on. Go, go, go. Be faster than Veer. Please stop floating away. What's the spiel? There are ways to talk to us. This is obviously the best way to talk to us. I think coming to yell at us on Twitch is probably the single most ideal way to yell at moderation devs on this platform. We get up to shenanigans every now and then, but we're here to field your questions, and we're always going to be here for a half hour every single week, barring holidays and whatnot like Easter. But yeah. Someone steal my glasses? No, I just don't have blue when I'm underwater. That's very amusing. Hello, everyone, again. If you want to talk to us and you can't get to office hours, perhaps you have friends and they're in other time zones, I would again strongly encourage you to tell those friends to go to the Resonite Discord, head down to the office hours questions forum. You'll find a pinned thread called Moderation Office Hours Questions. If you put a question in there, we'll field it the very next Moderation Office Hours and let you know when we've done so. If you want a text response from us, you could head over to the ticket system, and under a help topic of just general inquiry, you can ask about any old thing you'd like. We'll give you a written response. As we always like to say, everything we tell you is public. If we give you a response in the ticket system, you are more than welcome to publish that in the world if you had some question about how the guidelines work in relation to whatever you're running in sessions. Oh, And at the end of all that spiel, we got a subscription. Draconis has subscribed with Prime. Thank you very much, Draconis. That's immensely generous of you.
Thank you.
We need... Ask us a thing, Draconis. We're supposed to answer your questions. We're here to be question vendors, and you've provided us a Prime. Please, we will wait. What would you like to ask? I realize you've already asked questions, but you get more.
Oh, yeah. Also,
Look, come on.
now that I'm looking at the rating window here, it looks like Nuki is indeed streaming. And currently only has one viewer, so that makes them our smallest streamer currently, and so that makes them my decision to raid here in a moment. Opinion on Domino's Pizza. It's all right. I mean, it's delivery pizza, you know.
I need to find the best Domino's pizza. Every time people ask me about Domino's Pizza, this comes to mind, but I'm floating down a river, so 1 second, veer, quick, distract them.
So I don't know, like, I like Domino's Pizza if I can get like just about maybe 6 or 7 different toppings on there. I want my pizza to almost look like a salad in a way. I want it to resemble not a pizza anymore. Oh, okay, I'm about to ram my face into the camera. Ah! Okay, there we go. It got stuck on the roof. Let's see. Bravo Jules Bear subscribed at tier 1. Thank you, Bravo Jules. You said 1 hour. Unfortunately, today we have lost Git. He's not able to keep up anymore. Well, I guess that's totally fine anyway, because I'm about to start raiding the next channel here, and that's going to be Nuki. Let's see. Tomatot? Is that like a tomato tater tot? That's cool. Glad I'm, oh my god, dyslexia. Well, I'm glad I'm finally able to watch one of your streams. Awesome. Glad to have you. And we're going to be around next week again, around the same time, 4 p.m. EST. And you guys say hi to Nuki for us, and catch y'all later. Bye, guys. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's going to take about maybe 15 seconds before the raid starts here. Let me click the start raid button. All right, folks.
Very far away.
Yeah, no, you got stuck. You got stuck on the wall there. All right, folks. I'll catch you guys later. Say hi to Nuki for us, and have a lovely rest of your day. Bye, guys.
Have a good one, folks. Well, I'm